Danny had a couple of weeks off. How the squad kind of used that time to rejuvenate?
Hopefully very well. We'll find out tomorrow night. It's been really frustrating with the lack of training. And listen, we're not the only ones. I think even the 4Gs in the AstroTurfs have been covered in snow, and places are very reluctant to remove that snow because sometimes it damages the AstroTurf. So then you're looking at gyms and outdoor runs, and took the lads for a canal run yesterday, led by Gary Roberts. So you try and find ways to help them tick over. We would like to have gone into this sort of period of off training, so to speak, after some good results, because then it makes that break a little bit easier to take. We want to get back to winning ways, and hopefully that starts tomorrow. No, we're only a few games from Wembley.
We've had 2 new arrivals through the door. How pleasing is it to get those moves done?
Really pleasing. There's often questions about incomings and targets, etc., and there always is. And these are 2 lads that have come up on the radar. Obviously, Denanchin is known through the gaffer in his Ipswich days, and obviously Bim Pepple's doing ever so well at Southend, and I think he's been out on a few loans, and that's always helpful, because I think there's always maybe a misconception that you get a young lad from a bigger club on a first loan. It's always a risk. So I think he's had a couple of loans to sort of find his feet. Southend, obviously, he's done ever so well. So hopefully he carries on that form with us.
Let's just focus on both players. Bim's obviously, he's done well at Southend first half of the season. He scored a variety of different kind of goals. Is that one of the reasons why he's been brought in?
Listen, let's get it right. I think the injuries are right why people have been brought in. You know, if everyone's fully fit at the start of the season, we've got a blimmin' strong squad, but when it got to 12, 13 injuries, you've got to start looking for reinforcements. And yes, we've had a few people come back lately, which is great. Flex back in training, Palmer. So you're going, okay, that's 2. I know Devon's returned to Fulham, which loses one again. I think Jensen's back fit next week. Michael Jacobs is fit. Paddy Manning's coming back training this week. So it's looking brighter. But yeah, you know, listen, if everyone's fully fit, maybe those lads don't come in, but for the quality they bring, hopefully they bring, when we do get injuries and there's gaps in the squad to fill, you know, hopefully there's not 2 better players to fill them with.
Well, I guess with JD, that versatility that he's got at the back, that's obviously one key part of why he's been brought in.
Yeah, and I think as a team we've shown real glimpses of being excellent this year, and not just glimpses, that's probably unfair, but large periods of games we've been excellent, including those games over the Christmas period where we didn't pick up any points, which is really frustrating. So, you know, both lads, you know, the old saying, competition's very healthy. Hopefully that'll be the case, and listen, you know, that those lads who are injured, you know, maybe want to get back a bit quicker now, seeing the reinforcements that have been brought in, and when they do come back, we'll hopefully have one hell of a squad once more.
Well, back in action against Rotherham in the Vertu Trophy. What are you expecting from them?
Tough game. Steve Evans and Paul Raider's teams are traditionally very hard to beat, strong, organised, physical, but they play some good football as well. And listen, they've probably were looking to be up the higher echelons of League One, and it hasn't worked out so far. But they are dead on halfway in League One, and so they'll probably feel they can push on for the playoffs post January or post Christmas, which is obviously just passed. So after a great result against Bolton, they want to get to. I know Steve's been there a few times to Wembley, so I'm sure he'll want to add to his Wembley visits, and so do we, because obviously we want to be up right near that top end of the league. But there's no better day out than a day out at Wembley, believe me, if you win after our Notts County day out, which we won't talk about. So we'd like to get back there and win, but to do that you have to beat not only Rotherham but 2 more games after that. But yeah, those early group stages where there's not many people in the ground and you're playing a lot of youngsters, before you know it we could be maybe 1 or 2 games from Wembley. But yeah, we've got to overcome a very strong team tomorrow.
Well, Rotherham was obviously only just up the road for them. It's a bit of a local game, if you like. Might get a few more fans in the stadium. Is that something to look forward to? Yeah, I think it'll be few. I don't think it's open fully, the ground, yet. You know, let's get it right. It's a cold night. People have spent a lot of money over Christmas coming to watch us, and obviously the other expenditure that Christmas brings for families. So there's certainly no criticism of people not coming to every single game, that's for sure. I think they've sold about 500 tickets, Rotherham. Hopefully we'll have a few thousand and get into that quarter final.